This is Alex Harris for Slothbox, proudly sponsored by the Excelsior Sporting Club. Today I'm here with Anthony Crolla. Anthony, how are we doing, mate?
Alex, I'm good, thank you, mate. Good to be. I'm looking forward to the show Saturday. I think it's a very good main event. Really looking forward to that. And yeah, obviously there's a show back in Manchester, where I'm from as well. So busy weekend of boxing.
Indeed, and it is an absolute pleasure to speak to you, mate. It's an absolute honour.
Thank you.
I might have been a little bit out of your generation, but I was always watching the fights, and I've watched pretty much all of your fights now, and it's been an absolute pleasure to speak to you today. And
Thank you, mate.
lovely stuff. So just to speak about yourself now and what you're getting up to, you're now starting your own interviews, doing your own thing. How's it like being on the opposite side?
No, so outside after retirement, I went straight into coaching. So I've got a stable full of fighters now who I work with. So I'm in with them day in, day out. I do like the media stuff here today for one of the show sponsors. Obviously little bits of the TV work as well. So no, that's what I enjoy. Listen, you literally, you're on television or you're on some kind of platform talking about a sport you love. So I've never had any kind of training, media training, but you just pick it up as you go along. But no, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot. So, and do you know what it does? It helps you. The buzz of being around the big fights. You're still around the big fights, even if though you might be talking about them or working on them like that. So that helps fill that void, and then the other void will get filled with coaching someone. Hopefully, in time, the fighters I'm working with, they'll be in huge fights of their own, and yeah.
Most definitely. And so when you are coaching and working with these younger fighters that are coming up, what kind of characteristics are you wanting to fighters?
So listen, I think I'm a big believer in you have to treat each fighter differently. A good friend of mine once told me some need a carrot, some need a stick, and I believe that's how it is. Or some need both, but some need them on certain days, and I just want to try and get the best out of each and every one of them. I mean, like characteristics, obviously. Some, your non-negotiables, like the hard work, the dedication, and stuff like that. But just trying to see how some fighters listen better than others. Some fighters take longer to take it on board. Don't mean that they're not going to take it on board. You might have to remind them a few more times and stuff like that. And I'm learning. I'm a very inexperienced coach. I've been in boxing I've been in it about 26 years. So I've been in that a long time, but I'm a very inexperienced coach, so I've got an awful lot to learn. You're always learning in this sport, no matter how good you are. But I'm at the start of that journey as a coach. I've had my first champion now, but hopefully I'll create many more champions. So, yeah, I enjoy it. I enjoy it a lot.
Most definitely. And so just to speak about your brother, who's recently made his professional debut, what do you make of his professional debut?
Do you know what? I thought it was a good debut. He'd lost once in 7 years. So. It's very inactive, so with him it was just good to have him back. And listen, I think he was a bit different as well, my brother, because he'd really turned his life around, sort of in the sense where he just wasn't living right. Do you know what I mean? He wasn't living right whatsoever. So I was just, I was proud. I was proud to see him up. I would have been proud of anyone who had worked alongside to see how they was. So he's done well. I thought he boxed well, and he just needs to be active now. Obviously, there's a little bit of gap in shows, but yeah, we'll get busy.
Definitely. And so I suppose for him, I've spoke to him before his fight, but do you think he has that ability to go to where you were and get to that top?
Listen, we'll see. He's talented, but I think the main thing is activate, and we sort of take it from there. But he is, improving all the time. He's working hard, and he's talented. But he's the first to say he's not going to start making any bold predictions when that was his first fight in, do you know what I mean, in a long time. So yeah.
Definitely, and we're here today for the Dalton Smith versus Sam Maxwell press conference. And so, as a fight, a big domestic fight, and what do you make of this fight?
I think it's a fantastic fight. I love a British title fight. Everyone knows like there's very rarely about British title fight, and I can't see these two lads being that on Saturday. But I think when you look at Dalton, I've been shouting about Dalton Smith for a long time now. I know Sam Maxwell well. You look at the amateur career. He done very well with Vasily Lomachenko, much better than what I did. But now he gave a really good account of himself. Very, very good. Just believe his timing perfect for Dalton. You've probably got to favour that, but I certainly believe he'll be asking Dalton questions, and it's how he'll answer that.
Definitely. There's a couple just topics, just general topics I'd love to get your thoughts on. And the first one being that it seems like the Fury fight isn't going to happen in December now versus Usyk.
Yeah, it's disappointing. Everyone wants that's the biggest fight to be made in boxing, isn't it? So it's disappointing. It's not going to happen. Whatever the reasons are, I'm not sure. But I'm sure they will all come out. But when we've got a chance to have a unified heavyweight champion, and especially one, you know, like Tyson Fury, close from home from me anyway, someone I've knew for a long time, you know, gutted, but there will be reasons. Hopefully they can be sorted out and we do get to see it.
Definitely. And moving on to Anthony Joshua versus Dillian Whyte, seems like that's back on again now.
I hope so. August, packed out O2, some atmosphere in there, and yeah, it's a massive fight for both. And I don't like saying it when two fighters pit themselves against each other. Do you know, when they both got a lot to lose, but it is like for the loser, it would be, you know, hard for them to rebuild at this stage of their career to be in for world titles. But we'll see. But yeah, and I'd love to see it.
Definitely. And so also, like you mentioned, in Manchester there's also a big fight week between Savannah Marshall and Cruz Dezern. It's not the biggest of cards, but it's still got a big main event there. And what do you make of the whole card?
One or two decent fights, you know, on the undercard, but I fancy Savannah to win and look very good doing it. You know, Pala Savannah's, you know, a friend of Savannah's, and I've seen her a lot in this camp actually. I saw her for about a month, but before that I saw her quite a bit, and she looks very good. I think she looks better with the extra weight on her, and I think she's going to play right into the hands of Savannah. She's going to walk onto shots, and I don't expect to get it done inside the distance.
And something I just wanted to get your main thoughts on is the crossovers between UFC and boxing fighters. Ngannou versus Chisora has been the most recent one to be talked about.
I think it's mental. You know, you're talking about a fighter that has fought for world titles, fighting someone who's never had a professional fight. I know he's got good hands in the UFC, but that'll always be that talk, just like McGregor and Mayweather. But there'll always be a demand there for it. But me, I'm a little bit more like McGregor Mayweather, when there was people seriously out there giving McGregor a chance, because just probably like I'd give Mayweather the tiniest of chances in an octagon, you know, just two different sports.
And just one more I'd love to speak to you about, and that is Spence versus Crawford.
Can't wait. The fight I'm looking forward to the most, and I'm very much Team Crawford. My brother's Team Spence, I'm Team Crawford, so there's a lot on it in our family, a lot on it, but I mean, it's a great fight. Listen, it's a tough one to call, but I just believe how he adapts, the adaptability of Terence Crawford will be the difference.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, mate.